You just audition and then it's like done and then you just wait?
I mean, most of the auditions that you do for universities, they'll do one round where you just perform it how you normally would perform it. And then the next section for you, they'll give you direction tips. And then after that, sometimes some universities give you feedback. Like I got really good feedback from Edinburgh and Lambda. But universities, like especially the American universities, they don't give you any feedback. They will just say, you're unlucky, try it again next time, and that's it.
Okay, but I mean, like straight after you do your audition, like you did the audition for Juilliard, what happens after that? They just done? Like you just switch off? Or
yeah, I mean, for any audition, like I think, especially for the universities I applied to, as soon as you finish with the 15-minute audition process, they say, have a nice day, goodbye. They end the call, and then you don't hear back for 2 to 3 weeks, and then you have to sit there and hope that they send you an email saying you've been accepted, or you've moved on to the next
round. What did you feel when you didn't make it into the universities that you really wanted to go to?
Oh, I wanted to die. It was the worst feelings on planet Earth, especially when it was like Juilliard, because Juilliard's like a school that I always want to go to because it's just so prestigious, one of the best schools in the world. But the worst part is because they show you your score, and so you basically in a Teams meeting with about 17 or 18 other people who's also auditioned, and they put your scores all together on the screen so everyone can see if you made it or not.
Yeah.
And when you don't make it, or like, because I barely did it, I didn't make it into the next round to round 2.
So you were very close to
getting into round 2, and I missed it by like a point or 2. It was the worst feeling on planet Earth. I start crying. I think you remember because I didn't even come up. You just heard my door slam.
I realized, I think, when you weren't coming upstairs, and I remember when I came down and I asked you, and you were like, I didn't make it. And I thought, okay. First I went and I tried to hug you, but you were like, no, I just need time. I knew there was nothing I could say that could be of comfort to you.
And you're right, it does suck when someone tells you, oh, it's just not the right time or place, something will come up. Okay, if it's not the right time or place right now, this felt like the time and place where I needed to be somewhere. So yeah, you're right about that part.
How did you feel when those plans didn't work out the way you had imagined?
I mean, it kind of sucked because like you have this idea of what you wanted to do for the last 2-3 years of your life. You've told your whole family about it. You've told your friends, your teachers, and they all know. And they're all like, oh, yes, you can do it. You're going to go overseas. You're going to study. And then it comes to make that decision and you just have the rug pulled out of you. That's the only real way you can describe it, is that it's like you've been searching for it so long and you finally get to that point and it's just not there.
As a young person, what's the first thing that runs through your mind when everything you thought would happen doesn't happen? What was the first thing that you felt in that moment? Was it like, I just give up? I'm gonna have to sit here and wait and see what happens. And
I feel like that, definitely. I feel like you don't feel like you're gonna give up. You just feel like the world is telling you to, like, you're not doing anything in life. It's done. Your dream's done. Whatever. And you don't really give up. It's more like you just feel like you have no purpose anymore, because especially when it comes to going to university, it's like in high school, that's what you're striving towards, to get into that university you want. And you're just pushing and pushing and pushing. And it's that point where you can't get into it. It's like, why did I even try? There's literally nothing here. That's it, the only way I can really describe that feeling.
Now, 2 weekends, I think you've watched your friends getting ready to leave for different universities around the world. What emotions came up for you?
I feel like, okay, it's going to sound very, very rude, but I was jealous. Because like, obviously I'm excited.
But I think that's human. I don't think it's something wrong with it.
Like, I'm obviously very happy that my friends, they got into university they want and they get to fly overseas and study. But at the same time, it's like, that was my dream. I should have done that. And like, I think the worst part is like, I keep thinking to myself, maybe if I didn't study acting, maybe if I went into something like I say easier, but something like engineering or something like that, I could have easily probably just, because I had good grades.
Yeah,
so I could have just
no, you
anyway.
could literally apply for anything.
I
guess even for us as parents, we looked at it and go, oh, Ameer, could you not have chosen something like a little bit, like, considering you've got this amazing results, you could literally go apply for anything and probably get full bursaries for it because you've done so well. And now you choose the most difficult thing to get in for. And of course, it's frustrating because most people do not offer bursaries or, student funding where it comes to the arts.
Yeah.
Very few places offers that. So that makes it very, very challenging. And also universities, the ones you want to get into, have so few spaces for the arts. And of course, the world is huge and there's a lot of talented people around. So yeah, I think we knew all of the experience how difficult this was going to be. It was never going to be an easy thing for you. And I think we always understood that. I wouldn't want you to give up on a dream and go do something normal just because it's easier to do that, because I think that in the long run you'd hate it. And I think we've all known you long enough to know that you light up when you're on stage. That's where you're excellent. So I know that for you, maybe you looked at it and go, oh, maybe I should just go do something else, then I can have that overseas student experience.
I know, especially because like obviously I know people that got accepted to Harvard and whatever, but the universities I applied for, there was less chance of me getting accepted than the people that went to Harvard or Stanford or whatever. Because, for example, with the University of Edinburgh, I remember when I was speaking to the person, they were telling me that around about 5,000, 6,000 people apply for this acting course. And by the final round, around 20 to 25 people get into the school.
Wow.
So that's less than 1% of selection, and Harvard is about 10% for any course. So I already knew it would be difficult to get in, but me, I do know a challenge. And yes, I do get hit pretty when I get told no, but I think it really does just build you eventually. It's
going into acting and all of that, you hear a lot of no's in that career. And you've got to build a really thick skin for yourself to be able to accept that no and to be able to keep moving forward. So I think this is just the start of many no's that comes your way. And then you wait for that one right yes that comes along. And that's the only one that's ever going to matter. You will forget every single no when that yes happens and you are taking part in that massive production and traveling around the world with it, or getting into a movie or whatever that you really want to be in. And I think that one yes makes all the no's worth it at the end. So, and I think that's most actors, right?
I feel like even audition process, when you're rehearsing a play or whatever, the most common word you'll ever hear is no, do it again, or no, that's not the line, do it again. That's the most common thing you always hear. And it's or you just say, no, you're not doing it right. And you have to think okay, but I feel like I am doing it right. And you have to have that conversation around it. So it is just getting used to the word no, because it's very, very, tasking on yourself to just keep hearing that word. Because
I think for you it's particularly difficult because I think you hardly heard the word no in your life. I think I think that
everyone's lovely. Everyone just says yes.
But not only that, I think even if I look at when you played rugby, when you played football, it was just everything you went for, you just got into. And you did really well at it. So this is the first time I think in your life you've heard a no with something. And I can imagine what that must feel like for you, because when you do hear yes all your life and you then hear a no, you feel like a failure.
The best way to explain that is definitely with my driver's license. Obviously for school and stuff, with my tests, you know me, I never studied. I never opened up a book. I would just go in and get good grades. But then,
unfortunately, don't listen to him. Not everybody works this way. It's only Ameer.
But anyway, as I was saying, with my driver's license, it's I studied hard, I put in hours of work, and then I failed, and that it hits, reality hits hard, because for me, I've become with them, it's Ameer Pavement doesn't fail. And I think that's the only way to put it, is that's another example, is you put all this time and effort into something, and then it just doesn't pan out, and you just feel like complete failure, and you just feel oh, I'm gonna give up, I don't think this is for me, blah blah blah. I think that's the situation to it.
True story. Is there a part of you that feels left behind? A part of you that's also proud of your friends, even though you feel like you've been left behind?
I do feel kind of left behind. I feel like I'm watching everyone just go forward and enter a new stage of their life, and I'm kind of in a stagnant place. And I think the realization will probably come in December, because everyone that I know will come back from the university and come to South Africa, and they'll be like, oh, my semester one's done, it was so fun. And I wouldn't have started university yet. So I feel like it'll probably hit worse there. But I'm obviously very proud of them. They've worked hard to get where they are and to do what they want to do. So obviously I'm super proud of them. There is a big feeling of being left behind by them, but I think I'll always be proud of my friends for doing what they want and going where they want to, because they work for it. So,
okay, what's been the hardest part of sitting in this space while everyone else seems to be moving ahead.
The worst part is definitely the social media aspect. It's like I obviously I'm at home a lot, so I have lots of time. So I'm like on my phone, whatever, looking at people's stories, and then they're in class, in the lecture halls, they're in America, they're at a party, they're doing this or that, they're just somewhere else doing something, and then I'm just sitting at home with my laptop, like, what am I doing with my life? I'm just sitting here around. They out having fun, meeting new people, going to new classes. I think that's like that's the media aspect of it.
Yeah, and I think today it's not. I mean, I remember when I had finished matric, and a lot of my to universities, and my parents couldn't afford to send me to university, so I wasn't. That was not in the plans for me. Even though I always thought, like you, oh, I'm going to go to university, and this is how. And that was not. It was not a linear journey for me. It wasn't like for everybody else. They get to matric, they're looking forward to getting to university, and they're leaving, going to Durban, Cape Town, wherever, and all of that. And then, this is going to be the way my life was going to pan out. And then you get there and you realize, okay, this is not happening for me. And you watch everybody else going. But the difference is that I didn't need to see it on social media. We didn't have that at that time. So it was kind of like I was protected from that side. So even though they were away, matric ended, we were finished, we were done, and then we went our separate ways, and that was that. And I think for young people today, I think that's very difficult because it's almost like being rubbed in your face. Now, we got it rubbed in our face from our parents. Couldn't you be more like this person, more like that, but whatever, or aunts or uncles that looked at you with such pity, like, shame, you didn't get to go. Don't worry, Allah has more better plans for you, kind of thing. And people mean well, but really it still makes you feel like crap. Okay. Now, do you ever think that maybe life isn't saying no to you, but just saying not yet?
I think about that quite a lot, actually. It's like when you first hear that rejection letter from Juilliard or whatever, it feels like the world is just saying no. But as time goes on and you start to really process what's happening and how everything's going, it's like you realize that things don't always go like that. Like you were saying, it's not always in a straight line. Like you don't go matric, you go university. Sometimes you stop and you have to take a left turn or whatever. So I think it's definitely a not yet.
What did you learn about yourself from an emotional aspect?
Oh, I'm a tough cookie. That's definitely what I learned. I feel I definitely learned to be more patient.
But do you think that all the no's, all the things that didn't matter, all the things that you really wanted that didn't pan out, do you think that has resulted in you learning how resilient you actually can be?
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely at this point. I wouldn't say I am resilient. I have that ability to be like, okay, it's fine. I have that resilience in me, but I think this past year I've just grown more and more resilient, like slowly but like little bits and pieces.
Because I think, of course, this is not the only thing that happened. I mean, you had to move from India in your final year and then move to South Africa school. You left some of your very best friends behind. So that I know how difficult that was for you. That was, I think, a greater challenge to you than hearing the no's from university.
Yeah.
I mean, what surprised you most about yourself when you got there?
You always tell me this all the time, but I think something that really I keep getting surprised is how easily I make friends and how easily I can like grow together with people. You always tell me like, oh, Ameer, you're so good at making friends and blah 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 blah. Whatever, like I'm very social. I don't normally see it, so that always surprised me how social I can be. And I think what really surprised me the most was how easily I was able to adapt to the new school environment and to the things I was trying and doing and stuff like that. So my adaptability, I'd say that was like my biggest shock that I've had. I've never ever seen myself adapt like that before in my life.
I mean, adapt is one thing, but you went full force into the new school. I mean, you were involved in literally everything, from videography to photography of events to DJing at things to, being part of the material of that entire school. And that happened like in months. To go from someone that was so despondent and then become such a part of a school that it looks like you were there for years to get to that point. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of young people out there that, has to go into that same kind of scenario and have that same experience, and they're struggling. What is it that you needed to tell yourself that got you to just shift from I'm disappointed, I'm frustrated, I'm irritated to now, okay, I'm here now?
I feel like it's an artist thing, actually. It's like you can take a bunch of different emotions and just put it to work and get things done. Like it, I feel like the one nice thing about high school as well is that you make friends by proximity to people.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I will say is that you take all that frustration, that anger, whatever, and you just start doing things. like I did media for our school, and and when I got to shoot some of the videos like that, I could just express myself however I wanted.
Yeah.
And I think that was a good thing, especially also with English class as well. My essays, the way I viewed books and stuff, you could definitely tell that not everything was right to me at that time. But yeah, so I just got to express myself in so many different ways that eventually just went away. And I made a lot of friends by just being in close proximity. Like with my media club, that's how I met Akil. We just were in the club together and we spent our time together and became good friends from that. So I think if you want to just try and connect with as many people as possible, it's just like be involved in your school or different clubs or stuff like that.
And I think also doing things that you really love to do, because I think that was the opportunity you got at the school here, was the opportunity to do all the creative stuff that you actually always enjoyed doing.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that also just gave you that, I don't want to love the school because that means I'm giving in to my mother. For a lot of young people to learn is that take the frustration, let it fuel you into what you want rather than holding you back from things. Even if you're angry at your parents for making decisions for your life that you really didn't want, it's to look and go, it's still my life and I still have to make the best of it. And I think that's what Ameer did. He took the anger, he took the frustration and all of that, and he threw it into the things that he loved and he excelled at it. Has this time changed the way you see your path forward now?
Yes and no. I feel like everything I do is still leading in the same direction. It's towards us.
Yeah.
I'll always be an artist. I don't think that'll ever change. Especially, I feel like I could never see myself just switching and going into a STEM subject, going to study physics or whatever. I could never in my life would I ever do that. I think most of my life I'll always see myself as an artist, but in which aspect of art I'm going into, I think that's the only part that's really changing. It's like sometimes like I still want to do acting because I still really love doing acting, but at the same time it's like I really like making music, I love performing my music, that kind of thing, and it's kind of that intertwining. But luckily it all comes to the same idea that I need to be on stage. I need to be in the spotlight. So I feel like it's not really changing, it's just like the path I want to take to get to my final goal.
Yeah, so I think it's all just adding value to where you're eventually going to end up.
I'll be somewhere on a stage, so you guys will see me somewhere. I'll be there.
Yep, you probably will. Sometimes we only understand later why a door didn't open. Do you see any small signs that this might be a redirection rather than a dead end?
One thing I think, I've said this since I was a kid, and I tell it to Isham, is that there's no such thing as a dead end because all paths will get you to the place you need to be eventually. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than others. Sometimes it's shorter, but you'll always get to where you need to be eventually in your life. And I'll always be a firm believer of that. I feel like sometimes things are going to happen and you're just going to have to deal with it. And sometimes you're going to be redirected. Sometimes the door is going to slam in your head. Sometimes you're going to trip and fall, whatever. But you just need to keep walking that path and eventually you'll get there. So it's definitely a redirection to whatever may come in my life.
Do you sometimes feel like you're being tested?
Ooh, every time I speak to you, mom.
It's so funny because you also might test every day.
No, but seriously though, I do think I feel like sometimes I get the grand scheme of things, the three of things I think I get tested by. It's probably the smallest thing on earth. I feel like I get tested so hard. I feel like, like when you study for a test, and they give you a little study guide, and you study for it, and you go through it completely, and then you get to the test, and then the questions have nothing to do with the study guide. That's kind of how it feels when I get tested. That's how it feels for me, at least. So I feel like I get tested quite a lot.
Do you question the universe, like, what the hell are you doing?
Oh yeah, every day. I'm like, just lock it, just give me something. I don't know, I feel like you can't really question the universe because like something's going to happen eventually. And
look, I question the universe all the time. I mean, I always think this, that, when I make salah, I always think Allah probably just goes and goes, no, not again. Yeah, because I'm not that person that just think. I'm the person that asks lots of questions, like why? Why this? Why that? I don't understand. Explain it to me. Show me. I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, but then it doesn't equal that. 1 + 1 is supposed to equal 2. And then you do 1 + 1 and it equals 0. And you're like, hang on, I did this and I did this. How does it equal 0? Yeah. you struggle to understand that.
But you see, that's what you mean. I'm not saying I'm not curious, but you are curious. Like with me, I'm more of like a happens kind of guy. Like
When you say to me, can I go somewhere, and I say no, why do you say why? Since you just go with the flow.
Because sometimes your flow is not flowing right.
I think most understand that there's for things, that it's not just happening for no reason, that there's a lesson that we need to learn, that there's another path for us that's better for us that we're not seeing. We understand this. But as human beings, we still have inherent need to understand where we're going wrong, or have we done something wrong, or have we not done something correctly. Have you started to explore any new interests, passions, or opportunities while you've been in this pause state?
Well, as I spoke about before, I did release music.
Okay, you can listen to Ameer's music on SoundCloud. Let's just do the marketing part for this now.
So obviously I'll have my Instagram in the description. If you go there, just hit the follow button and my SoundCloud links in the description. You can listen to all my songs there. Thank you. But yeah, anyway, no,
taking every opportunity to sell himself. Okay, carry on.
Told you though, I still never stop.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, so I started doing your videos. I started doing music. Yeah, I guess I did kind of start exploring different things during my time off.
Okay, do you feel like this season might be preparing you in ways that you'll only fully understand in the future?
Yeah, probably. I would probably guess so. I can't say definitively that that would happen. I think this season of my life has definitely prepared me to come in the future. I think, what did they say? The darkest hours mean the brightest days, or something like that. I don't know. Something like that. But I do believe in that. So yeah, I think it's preparing me for the future.
How important is it to have friends and family who support you through this time?
Quite a lot.
And what kind of support is needed?
Oh wow, thanks for adding that extra bit there. I don't know, I feel like the support you kind of need is for them to like push you to do things in this time. It's like, you can have people who's really supportive over you, like, oh, it's fine, you know, you didn't get into unis you want, I'm sitting at home, it's okay, just relax, I'll make you some tea, whatever. It's fun to have that kind of thing going. So I wish I had it sometimes. But I think it is better to have people who's pushing you to go out and do things, like trying to job and trying to get experience somewhere doing something else. I think it's better. That's the kind of support you definitely need. Is that pushing support? What
helps you hold on to hope that your time and your opportunity will come?
Hope's a strong word. It's because it's gonna sound so cocky if I say this, but it's the only way I can think of saying it. I know I'm talented enough to do something cool with my life. So I just know eventually it will work out and I will have done something cool with my life. So I'm not really stressed about that.
I think that's the kind of attitude you have to have with your life, is that don't wait for it to happen.
Yeah, you have to take charge. You can't just sit back and
take the talent, take the belief, because talent alone is going to get you nowhere. No matter what people try to sell you today on social, you've got to work hard at your craft. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's engineering, if it's business, if it's the arts. You gotta be willing to put in the effort in your craft. And the thing is, if you love what you do, it's not a job. If you love what you do, you don't care how much hours you spend doing it. You do whatever you have to do to get there. Can you tell me what is your favorite quote?
The main one recently has been, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. I think that's a good one that I've kind of started thinking about living by.
Did you find very frustrating that you thought, I wish you guys could just understand this?
Oh no, I think you guys are quite understanding. I feel like there's nothing in my life that you guys haven't understood.
I know, but I'm sure there's moments of complete frustration. Like maybe there was stuff you were going through in your life that you thought, we don't really get, or we don't really understand it. Or maybe you were experiencing certain emotions or feelings and you just thought, you guys don't get it.
I think the only time like I felt like that explicitly was when we moved back to South Africa, where I felt like you guys didn't really understand what it was like moving back. It's the only time that was like that for me.
Okay. And what did you wish at that time that we understood better? Or how do you think we could have handled it differently that might have made it easier for you?
I feel like, I actually don't know, but I just think like you guys really did it in a way where it was like, it's not that big. Like I felt like you guys thought it wasn't that big of a deal that I'm just leaving. It's like, you kept telling me, oh, you're going to make new friends, you're going to go to new school, I need to, whatever, blah, blah. And I feel like you just didn't understand that it was like, it wasn't that I know I'm going to make new friends. I know I'm going to go enjoy my school, my final year, whatever. But it's like, you don't understand that it's the fact that I've left basically all my best friends, that my core friends. I've just left all of that behind.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things you guys didn't understand, and you guys made it feel like I'll just replace them.
Yeah. I think we did understand it, but I think our guilt for doing it, we needed to excuse it. We needed to find a way around it so that we weren't so consumed by the guilt that we were putting you through this, even though it wasn't really in our hands. It wasn't like a decision we made in a way that, we can sit and go, oh, that was our decision. We wanted to take you out of school.
No, I understand that.
But it was, I think also as parents, I think there's many parents out there, I think sometimes, and many young people out there that maybe think parents don't really showcase that we understand. But I think sometimes, we also navigating a new era with new people and new kids, and there's no real guide for it, and so a lot of things you guys are experiencing we've never experienced in our lives, and it's the first time that we're experiencing something similar. So I've said to you a lot of times, I've learned, I think, more from you than I even learned from Tashrika and Isham, because you grew up in a whole era of social media and phones and connecting online and all that kind of things, from gaming to everything. And so your whole way is a whole different way of life. Tashrika, them just started, it was like BBM and stuff and those kind of things. They didn't have it from young. You had it from your entire life. That was your life. So I learned, I think, more from you, even on how to handle social media myself. I learned more from you because you understood it more than what I did. I think even when I was going to schools and talking to schools, I could say things because you taught me the different terminologies and things people were using. I learned more about your generation from you than me just learning it from a book or something. And I think I learned what worked and what didn't work. And I think also as parents, it's for us to understand that we don't know it all, that it's okay not to have all the answers. And sometimes the same as you guys are figuring it out along the way, sometimes we also just figuring it out along the way. We look maybe like we know what we're talking about, but a lot of times we actually don't. We're just trying different things.
Big us Miss Lambrax. And she also got me into public speaking. So big us Miss Lambrax. Then obviously I have to shout out Miss Claire. She just did everything for me. Got me into the arts. Literally just the best woman ever. Shout out Claire. Miss Sabara, obviously just one of the best teachers I've ever had in my life. You were there when I first moved to school, supported me, helped me intertwine with everyone. Shout out to you, Miss Sabara. Shout out Mr. Mark Webster. He was the head of the media team whatever at AICT, and he helped me also integrate and let me just do my videos and stuff. So shout out you. Then obviously I have to go to my friends. Obviously Anna, Jan, Tamana, Nikhil, Kian. Shout out them, Eugene, Noah. Just everyone there. Best people ever. Then here in South Africa, obviously Akil, Mira, Alexia, twins. Shout out them. So, Akil's my lifelong friend. He'll always pester me about it. But I think
okay, now for your family.
Oh no, that means I actually forgot to shout out to Maseko. Oh, don't be mad at me. Anyway, shout out to Maseko. But no, seriously. Big ups, Shamoozles. Took me out all the times he didn't want to go out. He did it for me.
Shamoozles, just for all of you, is Hisham. Ameer's elder brother.
He took me out when I wanted to go out. He helped me just stay in touch, just relax here, and just have fun. I think that's the one thing he did for me. It's like he was just a good big brother. You wouldn't expect it from him, but he was.
That's who he is.
Shout out Tashrika, one of the besties of friends of all time. She's just the best, letting me sleep in a place all these years. Shout out to her. Shout out Ziad. Nothing more to say than just shout out Ziad. It's Ziad. Shout out my parents. The best. Couldn't ask for anything more. Because if I asked for anything more, I feel like it would have backfired.
Yeah, if you said he was going to ask for something more, then I don't know what more you could possibly ask.
Shout out to my fam. Kept me good.
Yeah.
Kept me healthy.
Yep. Well, let me just say thank you so much to Ameer. I know that as much as he puts on a brave face here, I know that this has not been an easy time for him. This has been not the easiest year. I think it's been, challenging for you, having to have left friends behind. But then, like I said, we're really proud of all that you've done. you know that I'm going to keep pushing you, and I'm going to keep challenging you, and I'm going to keep irritating you enough for you to bang a door, for you to put your headphones on and block me out. But yeah, so please look forward to the end of this video. We little credit at the end of him singing some Justin Bieber for all of you when he was really small. Just so that you can see this year was a long time coming. So yeah, he's genuinely going after the life that he truly, truly wants. And I truly hope that for everybody else out there, I hope that you all follow your heart. You all go after the things that you really, really want. And when life throws some lemons at you, you make
Sprite,
passion fruit and lemonade, people. Just kidding. You make lemonade. So on that, any last words, Ameer?
thank you guys for having me. I know you always enjoy seeing my face, so you guys are also welcome for that. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys twice actually this Thursday, so enjoy it.
Okay, well, on that note, keep it real, everybody.
Never say never. Never say it. Ah! Never say never, ever. Pick it up, kid. Yeah, yeah. See, I never thought that I could walk through fire. Never thought that I could take the burn. There's no turning back. Heart under attack. Everything I hear. Just in my destiny. I will never say never. Pick it up, yeah. When you knock me down, I will not stay on the ground. Pick it up, 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 up. I never say never.